Welcome everyone, and welcome to another Freebie Friday. Now this Freebie Friday is going to be slightly different because I'm going to be talking about a slightly different subject. Now this week I've had a lot of people get in touch with me, and a lot of people have been asking me what books am I currently reading, what audios am I currently listening to, and what other things which I could suggest to help someone along their personal development journey. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just talk about one of the books which has been really instrumental, really impactful in my life, maybe over for the last 4 to 5 years. Now this book is The Science of Getting Rich by a gentleman by the name of Wallace D. Wattles. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. Now this book was written in 1910, so just at the turn of the 20th century. And Wallace D. Wattles left us in 1911, so it was just a year before he passed away. Now this book is actually the inspiration to the film The Secret, which was produced and which was written by Rhonda Byrne. Now sometimes people refer to this book as the Little Green Book. You may hear it referred to as that, and if you do hear that, this is the book that people are referring to. Now it's broken down into 17 chapters, but this book is really starting to talk about the creative energy that we've got around us. Now, Wallace D. Wattles referred to this as the thinking stuff. Now, this is around us all the time. It's constantly flowing to us and through us. And he really starts to speak about how we can start to take control of our minds and start to mold, use our mind as a mold, because this creative energy will then become the liquid that will then fill our mold. Now, there's a great syllabus that runs through this book. And I was once told by my coach and my mentor at the time that I should copy this out, keep it in my pocket, and read it to myself every single day. Now, because it was my coach and my mentor, I did exactly what he said because he had the results that I want. So I did write this syllabus out and I did commit it to memory. I'm just going to go over this syllabus now. It says, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, from which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this stuff produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. You can form a thought in your mind, and by impressing that thought upon the formless substance, you can cause the thing that you think about to be created. Now, I had that written down on a piece of paper in my pocket, and I used to read it every single day. I didn't understand what I was reading. For many days, weeks, months, I did not understand what I was reading. And then after a while, I then started to expand my awareness and I then started to understand what that syllabus meant. And it really is now just starting to talk about the invisible stuff that we have around us, which is this creative energy. And once we can start to attune our minds to what it is that we desire, we can then start to use our mind to create the mold. And then that creative energy, that thinking stuff, will then be poured into that mold, and that will then start to manifest the thing which it is that we want to create. Now the book is broken down into 17 chapters. You can lock yourself away. You can read this book over 2 days. If you lock yourself away, you could probably read it in a day. Very, very short book. Very, very insightful. And like I say, broken down into 17 chapters. Read it, study it, and just start to implement the information in this beautiful book. Once you do read it, there's a very quick way to be able to get a summary from the book. And if you just read the chapters, chapter 4, chapter 14, and chapter 7, in that order, chapter 4 is the first principle in the science of getting rich. Chapter 14 is the impression of increase. And chapter 7 is gratitude. And if you read those 3 chapters, that will give you a complete summary of this book. So do go out and get this book. Do download the book. If you go onto my website on the reading tab, you will see this book and you'll see a whole list of other books that I recommend that are going to be fantastic for your personal development journey, for attuning your mind, to really start to develop that expectation and that desire. Now, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be coming to you with more of the intangible forces that are around that really start to govern this universe. And if you really want to start to live life to the fullest, it's really important that you start to understand the modus operandi of this universe. So I'm going to catch you again next week on Freebie Friday. And it just leaves me to say one more thing now. Keep reading, keep studying, and above all, keep growing. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Have a great weekend.